Hi, I'm Estelle Birdy and I'm a writer and sometime fake poet living and working in Dublin. And I'm delighted to have been invited by Miriam and Bev and Paul to read for the online speakeasy sessions in Skibbereen. It's a fantastic initiative in Skibbereen. I've been down to do it live in the olden days when we were able to meet up and go to wonderful Skibbereen. I hope to be back there again soon. But in the meantime, doing it online is kind of good too. So this evening, I'm going to be reading from my upcoming novel, my debut novel, Fancy, which will be coming out with publishers the Lilliput Press in spring of next year, 2021. It's called Ravelling and it's about 5 young fellas who live in and around the Liberties area in Dublin, the area that I've lived in since on and off since I was 19 and I came to Dublin as a student. It's about them, it's about their lives in their last year at school. They're young men, they're all 18, but it's about a coming of age novel and about what it means to be a man in multicultural Dublin, in multicultural the world at the moment. It's heavy on dialogue and dialect because those are things that interest me. It focuses somewhat on class difference and it's just about young men and non-toxic masculinity, since that's the phrase of the moment. Before I start reading, I want to acknowledge the very generous support I've received from the Arts Council of Ireland to help support me while I get the novel just perfect, or as perfect as it can be. So this scene that I'm going to read tonight, there are lots of darker scenes, but I think in the circumstances it might be a good idea if I was reading something a little bit more cheerful. And in the scene, Dino, one of the 5 lads, is going back to school. He's decided he's going back to school after quite a period away because he's trying to avoid a lot of things and he's just staying in the flat. So he's heading off to school and that's where we meet him. Do forgive the accents, I'm not the best. So, he jumps through breath clouds down a flight of stairs. Not going to slow up till he's well clear of the flat or he'll be in danger of just turning right back around, settling in for the day. Tell June the pain in his belly's killing him this morning. He's not going in because of the rest of them, but laying on the pressure. He's going in because fuck the lot of them. He'll hit the mean streets of Dublin town when he feels like it on his terms, not when anyone tells him to. He's no one's bitch. And if he's doing it right. Gonna be early even. The trip out to see the play in town will shorten the day, might even be a bit of crack, and he can duck out any times he wants in any way. No pressure. He's out in the street, he's walking to Sadie's, there's no one around, no shams, no schemers, no hers, no ones. He owns these streets. This is his fucking town. It's fucking freezing, it doesn't matter. Just keep on keeping on, going with the flow on the low down. He ducks into Sadie's. And I says to him, I says, mark me words, till you get something done about it, that drippy yoke won't be seeing sight nor light of my Mary Lou, Doreen says, leaning on the counter, jabbing her finger at Sadie and Rita. Sadie straightens up, coughs at the sight of Dino. But Doreen doesn't quit, oh no. Dino stands as far back as he can in the narrow shop, practically still in the doorway, and gets real interested in all the bog rolls and Kimberleys and tea bags and all the other things on the shelves behind the counter, which is all the things that the flat shop sells. Nothing's ever getting robbed out of here, 'cause no one can get at anything without going through Sadie. and that's not something anyone would try. Sadie does a wee signal towards Dino, trying to get Doreen to shut it. I says to him, you gunner-eyed fuck, are a dirty owl bastard. And I know you've been at your away games again. Gunner-eyed fuck, says Sadie. Has he the clap? Ah, here. Rita, coming over all compassionate for the fella and his drippy yoke, says, gunner-eyed, and does a winky eye at Sadie. She's talking about his crooked eye, Sadie. Jesus. Ah, now, you don't know that, Doreen. It mightn't be away games at all. There's lots of them, dribble. It's just urine. It's their age, she says, and she turns away from the other two, pulling her purpley pink mouth down at the corners like a big, sad and pretty disgusted clown. Copping Dino, she gives Doreen a dig in the sides. Doreen straightens up, dog squashed in her arms. Poor fucker, dressed in a hot pink ballet skirt and a wee waistcoat with a flower in the buttonhole. It's all rocked up, so the flower's sticking into its little face. Jesus, you'd really have to feel sorry for it. Hiya, Dino, love. Didn't see you there, Doreen says. Is that not a boy dog? He says. She looks down, confused, at the dog, who must be fucking dying of death. Yeah, he is. Why? She says as she lifts the dog up and gives it an opened-mouthed kiss on the snout. Fuck's sake. The dog turns to look at Dino, its runny eyes pleading, fucking help me, please. The clothes, Dino says. What about them? Doreen says, pulling at the tutu. He's found his inner woman, Dino. Am I right, Doreen? Sadie says. Now what can I do for you, Dino, love? They're hooting away at the pretty shit inner woman joke, but sure, whatever. He steps up to the counter. Packet of Rizlas there, please, Sadie. The big ones, yeah? I'll take it down for you. I'll take for it down this end, Sadie says, and makes him go to the far corner of the counter. As he's passing her the money, she holds his hand in hers just a little bit too long. Soft and squishy, big for a woman's. She'd level you with a clatter. Haven't seen you this long while, Dino. Not in the uniform in anyway. Miss me, did you, Sadie? You do be zipping around normally, she says, staring at him. Awkward. Course she knows something. Knows everything, Sadie does. Or pretends she does, like all the owl ones. Even when they don't know shit. There's a shine off her oranginess this morning. Shimmery in the folds. Not that she has that many wrinkles even. Puffed out with the fat. Something to be said for that. You know your daddy'd want you going to school. You know that, don't you? The feeling rises in his belly. She's speaking quietly now, pretending she's checking the newspapers under the counter. It's the anniversary soon, isn't it? Your dad's. Next week. Jays, Sadie. Didn't know you cared so much. Yeah, he says. Don't flinch. Alls they want is fucking crying and howling out of you. Sadie pauses the fake paper sifting, but doesn't look up. He fiddles with the packet of chewing gum he's found in his pocket. Bonus. Turning it round and round, outlasting her. The big ones, is it? That's it, yeah. Behind him, someone's lumbering over the taped up lino. Doreen and Rita stiffen a little, and Doreen's upper lip starts doing a bit of an Elvis. Her dog joins in. There's a low, rumbly growl. Ballet dog's gonna do damage. He's afraid of men, Doreen announces, apologetically, helpfully. Dino doesn't look, but he knows it's a big lump of a man, reeking of some scabby cologne, breathing heavy. Sadie stands up, glances quickly at whoever it is, nods just enough to acknowledge him, and starts fumbling in the till. As she passes the change to Dino, she grabs his hand again. No good reason for all that with your dad. No, good reason. You mind yourself and get to school, pet. Yeah, she says, loudly. Yeah, he says, pulling his hand back. Dino's back prickles. Your man's on top of him. Yeah, it's not the biggest place in the world, but come the fuck on, bud. He turns and bumps into a belly. Jim Phillips in full white Adidas. Who knew they made tracksuits in that size? Fuck it in any way. Thank you for having me. And enjoy the rest of the readers and performers. See you soon, hopefully, in real life.